they just get used to dealing with it. They're managing it with whatever they're swallowing from that, synthetic medicine cabinet. And, they're suppressing it. They're dealing with it longer. It's not quite as, it's going deeper into the tissue. And so it's not really surfacing and screaming so much anymore because you've been doing a really good job of ignoring it. So it goes deeper. And so then you end up ultimately, you're really, really sick. And you're really, really sick because now that acute condition has gone into a chronic or degenerative condition. So, you should have started doing things when you had the first onset
right
of what was going on instead of, ignoring it and using just, whatever to try to take care of the pain from it. And so it works its way into a degenerative condition. So, yeah.
Sorry. I'm still on that 4.5 trillion, only 15%.
15% of the world has actually been able to see a doctor.
That just blows my mind.
And I mean, if we didn't have Doctors Without Borders, look at how many people would not be able to, and yeah, so, but, the thing is that the problem here lies the synthetics that are taken into the body, whether they be, the isolated synthetic agents that are removed from a plant source, added to some synthetic things. They remove a constituent from a plant, an active property. They build their synthetics around it. They patent it. But it's the synthetics that are made up of that compound that you start having the side effects too. So, the other thing with reinventing the healthcare program, we need probiotics instead of antibiotics. We need nutrition instead of no nutrition. Come on. Look at the stuff that your average person starts their children out in the morning with. Look at all those cereals. They're not good. We've talked before in past shows about the food colorings and where those come from and the types of problems that they create within the body. All of these sugars, the grains, the grains that can't be digested. So, take a look at the health around your, I've talked about the grocery cart at the grocery store. Watch the kids who are freaking out all over the place and look in the grocery cart. There's so much junk that's in that grocery cart, and it's like, no wonder they're behaving like that. But also, what's going on with the health of your neighbors? People with all kinds of problems, and it's like, it's a nutrition, it's we need nutrition instead of the no nutrition food, the prepackaged, everything is, homogenized and heated exoenzyme milk, just stuff, and it's really not good. Nature's medicine. The thing is all of this dis-ease is created. Dis-ease. It's a dis-ease in the body. You're missing vital nutrients. You're manifestations of problems occur from this imbalance in the body from a lack of nutrition. And one thing about nature's medicine is it manages things at the root cause. There's so many different compounds that are made up in the foods and the herbs and that that they give the nutrition, they give the body what it needs to get well. It enhances the physical and the emotional health issues. It's safe. It doesn't have the side effects, and those are the cost of those are usually pennies per dose, as opposed to the doctor fees, the visits, the copays. Your average earache costs with insurance. So if you go to the ER, if you take your child to the ER with an ear infection, the cost with insurance after your copay and $185 on the average for that earache.
Wow.
I gave my little Allie, I gave her 2 drops
of this
of the silvershield down in her ear.
Uh-huh.
You know, I mean, pennies.
How much can you buy that on your website for?
4 ounces of it. I use the 4-ounce bottle now. We've got a 16 ounce, so I started buying those. But this was one of the 4-ounce bottles. $22.
$22 for 4 ounce, but you're only using 2 drops. That 4-ounce bottle is going to last you for a long doggone time.
Yeah. Yes. And so 2 drops of that, I mean, okay, maybe $1. It didn't cost no buck.
Right.
50 cents. 50 cents. Or, you know, you can take a cotton ball and put a couple drops of melaleuca oil, which is tea tree oil, and that works out to 17 cents for one ear. Or 34 cents for both ears.
Yeah, I'm sure we can afford that.
You know.
And that's not a bad cost per ratio per ear.
Yeah, you know, and sometimes, you know, don't do the ears both at the same time, but you want to start with the ear that is giving you the problem. Start with that one first. Then after, you know, if you're putting a cotton ball in, you know, 6-7 hours, you know, take that cotton ball out. Then you can treat the other ear. Put a little cotton ball in it. And the reason that you do that is, please listen closely, the reason that you do that is, if you stop up both of the ears, what happens is that's forced and it drains down the eustachian tube and comes into the back of your mouth. And I have seen, when that has happened, some pretty icky looking stuff that's in the back of somebody's mouth.
Wow.
From doing that. You know, it just gets draining, and it drains into the back of the throat, and they're coughing it up, and it comes out, and it's like, you got, that looks bad. One at a time.
One at a time, about 7 hours later, do the other.
Yeah, do the other one. Okay, so, you know, the nature's medicine, nature's medicine aids with helping the body to heal itself. And it meets the body's needs. You know, taking a look at peppermint oil, or peppermint, if you put one leaf of peppermint leaf under a microscope, you need 200 times magnification in order to see the oil, to see the beaded up little oil that is on that peppermint leaf.
Wow.
You cannot see it to the naked eye.
Wow.
Of course, you know, if you pick some of it and you rub your hands,
right,
and then you rub your eye,
it's going to sting.
You're screaming. You're screaming. That oil got on your hands, and you rubbed it. So, you know, the only thing that's going to take that off when you do blunders like that is oil. You know, you don't want to do water. That's not going to take care of it. But if you'll, like around the eye, if you'll put a couple drops of flaxseed oil in the eye,
okay,
or even a couple of drops of a virgin light olive oil in the eye, or a drop of honey in the eye, that will absorb that oil immediately. And it'll go into that oil. And that takes care of that burning sensation.
And then will you, like, just tear it out?
Yeah, and then, exactly. You can put a couple more drops of oil and then just run, you know, a little Kleenex along that and get that, because it'll bead up. Because your eye watering and the oil, it's going to separate, because they can't mix.
Right.
And so you'll be able to get that. It'll be beaded up there on the eye.
Oh my goodness! Interesting. Very interesting.
Teardrop. Yeah, and then just get that out with a little Kleenex.
Okay. Okay.
Kleenex. But so, and then you're going to dab, if there's other, like around the mouth, if you've got a reaction to something that in nature that's an oil that got on the skin or, in the eye area and stuff, you'll use oil. So oil will cling to that oil that has made its way on the skin as an irritant or in the eye.
Okay.
And then you're able to get rid of it that way. Okay. So that's
their
that's
molecules will become one.
That's right. That's right. Correct. So it takes a 200 times power magnification, and peppermint planted here and there in the garden, it keeps enzymes. It's loaded with enzymes, the oil. It wards off bees and bugs. And, hey, in the wilderness, when it grows in the mountains and stuff, wild peppermint, the bears won't even go around it. So, but what's, it's like, what's inside that one drop of that oil? From a nutrient standpoint, when you get into some of this is sophisticated equipment that, quality companies have, like Kingdom of Healing, the company with that website, multi-million-dollar laboratory. The oils and stuff that are tested there, they contain hormones. They're loaded with enzymes. That's, it has all of the factors set up so that plant will survive the oils that are in that. So, the herbal medicine doctor, herbalmedicinedr.com, that company as well. They spend the money to make sure on herb and flower identification, purity. It goes beyond organic. One of those machines are like $80 to $100 grand, and it goes beyond organic. The thing is that with everything that they end up testing for, and another thing to remember is the oils through steam distillation. It takes 3.5 to 7.5 tons of raw material to make 1 pound of oil.
Wow.
So it's kind of back to that thing. If you're buying something for $4, I'm sorry. I heard it $2, $2, $2. Well, that's what you get.
Right. 2 tons. That's 4,000 pounds.
That's right. A ton is 2,000 pounds. Right. So 2 tons is 4,000 pounds.
And are we talking just regular tons or metric tons?
We're talking tons.
Okay.
Ton weight. 3.5 tons to 7.5 tons. 7 tons is 14,000 pounds.
Right.
So you're at 15,000 pounds is 7.5 tons. 15,000 pounds of, say, roses to get a pound of rose oil. So, there's a reason why rose oil costs, $60
right,
for 5 milliliters. There's a reason why. Stop and think about that. Nothing's free.
That's true. That is true.
Free. The only thing you can get close to free is the synthetic stuff. They're happy. It's $5 billion.
Yeah, they want you to try that stuff.
They want you to try that. But you know what? Don't count on anything getting well. Don't plan on fixing anything. Because it's not going to happen. It takes 28 tea bags of peppermint tea to equal 1 drop of peppermint.
Wow.
28 tea bags for 1 drop. Okay, so, and if you want something for pain, severe pain,